Hello and welcome to Spinsus Library. I'm Claudia and today I want to talk about the SparkNotes Twitter account because it needs to be spoken about. I'm not the biggest fan of corporate Twitter accounts. Who is? Is there anyone out there who's like, yeah, I really love corporate Twitter accounts, but the SparkNotes one is doing it right. As a lover of classic literature, I am a fan of what they do with their Twitter accounts. And I'm not a natural fan of SparkNotes. It wasn't really a thing when I was in school, so I had to deal with classic literature the hard way, which was to not read it and then get bad grades. And I'm a little bit salty that the children of today have SparkNotes to fall back on to combat their natural laziness, whereas I just had to blag my way through literature classes and didn't do a great job at it. But now I am reformed, I enjoy classic literature, and one of the things I hope to do with this channel is to make classic literature fun and accessible and not something that we're afraid to talk about. The SparkNotes Twitter account is taking that fight to the next level. Oh, by the way, this video is not sponsored by SparkNotes. If you want to collaborate, hit me up. Let's just look at some of the gold that SparkNotes has tweeted over the past year and a half or so. Have a look at this. If anyone needs me, I'll be committing acts of hedonism while the cursed painting in my attic grows ever more hideous. You love to joke about Dorian Gray. By the way, all of these are basically memes. Let's have a look at this one. The villagers, don't go to the castle. A real evil guy lives in there. Jonathan Harker. I hate that guy. Too general, lacks fervour, just kind of meh. I would eat his heart in the marketplace. Specific, actionable, metal as hell. You'll notice a theme here, by the way. The I would eat his heart in the marketplace line from Much Ado About Nothing is the punchline of a significant number of these tweets. What men think women want in a man. Tall, handsome, rich. What women actually want in a man goes by the name of Ernest, a name that inspires absolute confidence. I love these so much because the formula is so simple, right? Take a popular meme format, insert classic literature reference. And the easiest way that these classic literature references are inserted are pretty much just by adding a famous line from a novel or a play, in this case from The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. And it just works. It just works. Taking classic literature and inserting it into Twitter memes. Oh, I wish I had thought of that. Let's have a look at the next one. I have a joke about Frankenstein, but it's actually about Frankenstein's monster. So this one takes, again, a popular meme formula and inserts not a reference to the specific book, but a reference to a specific discussion aspect of the book. Am I over-analysing these tweets? Let's have a look at the next one. The only gender reveal party that interests me is the one at the end of a Shakespeare comedy where everybody who's been cross-dressing up until this point dramatically reveals their disguise and gets married to a duke or lord. Ah, genius. Sorry, I'm just going to have to stop my cat from eating some string. Get out. Get out. You're not getting out, are you? Alright. Stop eating the string. Children. Gender reveal party. Hot topic in 2020. I'm not a fan, but then I'm not American. And linking that to the ridiculousness of sort of disguising yourself as a different gender in Shakespeare. It makes sense. It just makes sense. What have we got next? Get a man who can do both. Insult your family's social standing and propose marriage. This obviously a reference to Pride and Prejudice and the infamous disastrous first proposal scene. Love it. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Bracket, double check that Juliet is actually dead before drinking poison. It's a cheap shot, right? It's a cheap shot. I haven't read Romeo and Juliet and I still get the reference. And again, that's another thing that account does really well. It's not in-jokey, you know, it's not sort of only clever people get this reference. It's very open and generic and you can retweet this and your friends who have no idea about Shakespeare classic literature probably still get the joke. Straight line, dash line, iconic line, An unhappy alternative is before you, Elizabeth. From this day you must be a stranger to one of your parents. Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins, and I will never see you again if you do. One of Mr. Bennet's iconic lines there from Pride and Prejudice. And this particular meme format, straight line, dash line, iconic line, they really like that one. There's several tweets that play with that. And even though if you look at the SparkNotes Twitter account in one go, as I have done in preparation for this video, it can be a little bit repetitive, but if you just see these tweets in your Twitter feed, they are delightful every single time. I am a, check, male poet in the 1800s, seeking a, check, beautiful woman who will marry me and then die of consumption, so I have something to write poems about. This one's obviously not a reference to a specific person or a specific book, but it is, I guess, a reference to a trope of the Romantic era. And I appreciate those as well. Much Ado About Nothing, big book. Much Ado About Nothing if Beatrice could eat people's hearts in the marketplace. Yeah, I'm glad she didn't. Although, it'd be an interesting version of the text. If you want to be my lover, I'm not singing it because I'm not getting this video copyright claimed. If you want to be my lover, you gotta descend to the depths of hell itself and play the lyre for the god of the dead. A little bit of an ancient classic references there. I believe it was Orpheus who went into the depths of hell to get his love out of there, and then he turned around and failed. I'm fed up with dating. When will a masked man fall in love with me, attempt to advance my singing career, and eventually drop a chandelier on the audience? Yes, as in The Phantom of the Opera. And again, you don't have to have read the book. It's enough if you saw the musical. I've not read the book. Am I attractive? No. Do I have a great personality? Also no. Do I keep my wife locked away in a secret room on the 3rd floor of my mysterious Gothic manor? No, of course not. Why, did you hear something? I think this is one of my favourite ones. I think this is funny and this is clever. Nice one. A Shakespeare character wears a cap, their closest friends and family. I've never met this man in my life. Referencing the Shakespeare trope of very simple disguises that fool a lot of people, although, as someone with face blindness, someone putting on a cap fools me every single time. If I know you, I could be married to you, I could be your sister, I could be your daughter, and you wear a hat, I will not recognise you. Sorry. Ah yes, there's 5 Shakespearean love languages. Faking your death, dying together, dying alone, having a minor miscommunication that results in the deaths of many, and regicide. Sorry it took me so long to text you back. I was caring for my dear friend Bunbury, whose extraordinarily poor health requires my constant attention. Another reference to The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, where the main character Algernon pretends to have a friend, an invalid friend named Bunbury, so he could get away from social occasions that he doesn't like. Frankenstein builds a creature out of literal corpses. The creature is ugly and not attractive at all. Frankenstein surprised Pikachu. Yes, I never understood how Frankenstein built his creature out of human body parts, stitching them together, and then is surprised that it has less than healthy looking skin and is 8 feet tall. You kind of designed it that way. Returning from the underworld for spring? Groundbreaking. I assume this is a reference to the myth of Persephone, but again, I am not that well read in Greek myths and Greek literature, and I still get that joke, so it's just nice how the SparkNotes Twitter account makes classic literature relatable, accessible, and fun in a 21st century way. I'm into it. I did a little bit of digging and I found an interview in Time magazine with the person who runs this Twitter account, the SparkNotes social media manager. Her name is Courtney Gorter and she's 26, or was when this article was published, which was last year. And she just talks about how she was given creative freedom by the company to do the SparkNotes Twitter account in the way that she wanted to. And as a 26-year-old, she thought that the best way to communicate fun bits about classic literature is through memes. And it clearly worked because the follower numbers rose very sharply and very quickly after she took over the account. And it's wildly successful. And I have to say, I am a little bit jealous of Courtney, because if there's one thing that I could list as the dream job that I would do to the end of my working life, which if society just keeps going the way it is, it's probably going to be when I'm 90 or so. Anyway, I would love to have a job like that, where you just get to tweet about classic literature, make it fun, make it accessible, make it into something that's not serious and academic, but just something that everyone can enjoy. I can only say congratulations, Courtney, on your amazing achievement there, and well done SparkNotes for making a corporate Twitter account that is actually fun. I will link both the article and of course the Twitter account in the description box, so go and check those out, and check out more videos that I've done on classics if you too enjoy talking about classic literature in a casual, modern way that doesn't take itself too seriously, because classics should be fun. More people would be reading classics if we talked about them more in the form of memes and less in the form of policing other people's opinions about them. Thank you for watching. Bye!